Hi, and welcome to the Decision Matrix. Not the Matrix, the Decision Matrix. So this is a tool that can help you to make a lot of different decisions. So for example, what car should you buy? A nice truck, a Model S, a Corvette, or maybe even a Honda Accord. So this is what the Decision Matrix looks like. In the rows, the blue rows that says ideas, that's where you put the different options that you're trying to decide between. And then in the columns, the criteria columns, you put the criteria. And a lot of times you could find this criteria in your design brief. There's a section called criteria and constraints. So that's a good place to start if you're looking for criteria. If you're looking for a car though, you might look for things such as color, function, miles per gallon, reliability, and cost. So for color, red's okay, white's not great for me. I really like blue, but I really always wanted a black car, so I'll give that a 5. Functionality, trucks, you could tow a lot of stuff, and it looks like a 4-door cab there, so pretty functional. Model S, that's decent. I mean, you don't have an engine anymore, so that actually turns into trunk space, so you have more trunk space. Corvette, not very functional. An Accord, you have some trunk space and stuff, but not as much as a truck would. Miles per gallon, as you can see, that's how I would rate it. And by the way, the grading scale is on the bottom. I forgot to mention that. 5 is the best, and 1 is the worst. So you want to make sure you set up a grading scale. Reliability is, if this car breaks down, what are the chances of it breaking down? And if it does, how easy is it to fix? And then the overall cost of purchase. So Model S and a Corvette don't score very high there. So this allows you to break down the pros and cons. It's almost like a pros and cons list, but it's beefier than that because you have multiple criteria besides just pros and cons. And then it objectively adds together your scores. So now this is 3 plus 5 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 is 13. In the decision matrix that we give you for the puzzle cube assignment and all the other decision matrices, this yellow column, it says do not type in column K. As scores are entered, totals will calculate automatically. This is an Excel file that has a function in there that adds all the totals together. So as you can see, the Honda Accord wins. So anybody with a black Honda Accord, they're really cool people because they made a great decision with their decision matrix. So Project Lead the Way says a decision matrix is used to compare design solutions against one another using specific criteria that are often based on project requirements. So they said, what material would be best for creating models of puzzle pieces? Then they go through all these different ones. You get modeling clay, caramel cubes, dice, centimeter cubes, foam blocks, sugar cubes. And this is a good slide here. It says identifying criteria. So this is just a general list that you might find useful. It says cost, reusability, geometry, connections, cleanliness, resilience, testability. Some of these are more specific to the cubes, but you could use these, a lot of them, in a lot of different projects. There's other criteria here: function, product lifespan, development time, size, materials cost, development cost, manufacturing costs, company standards, manufacturing capabilities, and safety. So there's a lot of, if you're having like writer's block and you can't think of criteria and you already looked at your design brief, there are a lot of different criteria out there that you can look for that would be beneficial for your designs. So a grading scale must be developed to assign values for each criteria category. In this case, they use a ranking scale from 1 to 4. And if it's a question, yes or no question, you could even give it a 1 or 2. So for them, they filled it out and they had the totals there. And if there's ever a criteria that's like the cost is super important, you could even weight your criteria and double everything. So instead of a 4, you put an 8, and instead of a 1, you put a 2. If you wanted to weight a category, so that's an option as well. So number 4 is the right decision. That's awesome. Thanks for watching and have a great day.